Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again and again. Has to happen. Nice night. Miami is a great town. I love the Cuban food. Pork sandwiches, my favorite. But I'm hungry for something different now. There he is. Mike Donovan. He's the one. It's Dexter Morgan. I don't know what made me the way I am, but whatever it was left a hollow place inside. People fake a lot of human interactions, but I feel like I fake them all, and I fake them very well.
Ahoy! Ahoy there, Captain! Any big marlin out there today?
And that's my burden, I guess. But I don't blame my foster parents for that. Harry and Doris Morgan did a wonderful job raising me. But they're both dead now. I didn't kill them. Honest.
You're different, aren't you?
Sometimes it sets my teeth on edge. Other times it helps me control the chaos. The code of Harry, my foster father, is satisfied. And so am I. Harry was a great cop here in Miami. He taught me how to think like one, taught me how to cover my tracks. I'm a very neat monster. Sister Deborah. She has a big heart, but won't let anyone see it. She's the only person in the world who loves me. I think that's nice. I don't have feelings about anything, but if I could have feelings at all, I'd have them for Deb. There's something strange and disarming about looking at a homicide scene in the daylight of Miami. It makes the most grotesque killings look staged, like you're in a new and daring section of Disney World. Dahmerland.
You better be.
Sticky, hot, messy, awful blood. No blood at all. Why hadn't I thought of that? No blood. What a beautiful idea.
How does he do it? How does the killer get rid of the blood? It's hard to say.
Clean, dry, neat-looking dead flesh. Wonderful.
Very clean.
I wish she'd stop that. It's one of those mating rituals which I really don't understand. But that bloodless body... This guy may have exceeded my own abilities. Salt of the earth, these people, and they work hard. But with the solve rate for murders at about 20%, Miami is a great place for me. Great place for me to hone my craft. Viva Miami. The only real question I have is why, in a building full of cops, all supposedly with a keen insight into the human soul, is Dokes the only one who gets the creeps from me? Driving, which I love to do, is not being able to employ the 10-2 hand position on the wheel. It's a matter of public safety. But there's always a sacrifice. This guy, Jamie Jaworski. 6 months ago, I think he fell in love with a pretty brunette, Mrs. Jane Saunders. A sweet mother of two, married to a successful banker, all living a pleasant life until she unfortunately disappeared, leaving the kids emotionally devastated forever. The cops arrested my favorite valet, but his lawyer got him off on a faulty search warrant. It's a good thing I don't bother with them. Animals don't like me, especially dogs. I don't think they approve of what I sometimes do to their masters. And that dog recognizes me as easily as I can recognize Jaworski. or any other killer. Interesting taste in literature. His needs are evolving, turning violent. He's on the fast track.
Have you ever...
Date night in Miami. Every night is date night in Miami, and everyone's having sex. But for me, sex never enters into it. I don't understand sex. Not that I have anything against women, and I certainly have an appropriate sensibility about men, but when it comes to the actual act of sex, it's always just seems so undignified. But I have to play the game. And after years of trying to look normal, I think I met the right woman for me. Deb saved her life on a domestic dispute call, introduced us, and we've been dating for 6 months now. She's perfect because Rita is, in her own way, as damaged as me. Habits. Yet all these socially acceptable people can't wait to pick up hammers and publicly smash their food to bits. Normal people are so hostile. But not her. He's definitely the one. Now it's just a matter of time before he becomes a drop of blood in my glass slide collection. But I have to wait. I have to be careful. And follow the code of Harry. Likes to steal all the copper plumbing. There's good money in that. No security guards. That's good. Well, it was a good night. One less amateur filmmaker polluting the internet. I'll admit making out with Rita was interesting. But if I don't keep a lid on this, it could be the end of us. I suppose I should be upset, even feel violated, but I'm not. No. In fact, I think this is a friendly message, kind of like, hey, wanna play? And yes, I wanna play. I really, really do. I dream. I dream I'm floating on the surface of my own life, watching it unfold, observing it. I'm the outsider looking in. Look at them. They can laugh and play. It comes so easily for them. Even though I'm not one of them. Even though sometimes I can really be a monster. Today, I'm just a sea monster. Soon enough, I'll have to go back to doing what I do. So I make a point of enjoying days like this when I have them. First, he throws a severed head at me. Then he leaves me these doll parts, like pieces of a puzzle. I like puzzles. But there's nothing more frustrating than putting a puzzle together and finding that it still doesn't make sense. Unlike the other guys down at the station, I love coming to court to rub shoulders with the good people of the Sunshine State and Sasquatch. In a courthouse, everyone's on their best behavior. like they're being watched. And they are. Some people would look at this family and see only tragedy and heartbreak, but I see so much more than that. I see opportunity. On level, I even understand their pain. I just can't feel their pain. It's just a matter of time before we see how far Matt Chambers' crocodile tears will get him. But until then, a little of my favorite tropical fruit. The perfect driving food next to a pulled pork sandwich. Also, I can keep my energy up for the day job. In keeping with her total sense of entitlement, she has this attraction to me. I thought I was creepy. 206 bones in the human body. He could have left any one of them. But he gave us exactly what we need to identify the victim. Like he's leaving a trail of breadcrumbs. Back. He's thought all this through. I know I would. Yes. Me. My freezer. The painted doll's fingernails. I think he's trying to impress me. And it's working. Men like Matt Chambers know how to pull on the invisible mask of sympathy, even empathy. And otherwise right-thinking people don't stand a chance. Not guilty. Matt Chambers may have found a way to beat the system. But so have I. I've seen this before. Whenever a cop is killed, it's like everyone's life has been stopped in mid-sentence. My father had more than his share of pain, but he didn't deal with it the way most people do. Happy hour. Now there's a misnomer. I'll have what he's having. Sure hope he doesn't go out there and kill himself. That would be tragic. Matt Chambers is accused of committing a crime in Florida. He was arrested in Florida and is being tried in Florida. So the good people of Florida only went as far as validating their own assumptions that Matt Chambers is a Florida bad guy. Nothing a new city can't cure. My father taught me one thing above all others, to be sure. And I am. Matt Chambers, Miami is your last stop. If God is in the details, and if I believed in God, then he's in this room with me. I just wish he'd brought an extension cord. Guerrero taking home lobsters to boil alive. It's not his style. He usually leaves the killing to someone else. I can kill a man, dismember his body, and be home in time for Letterman. But knowing what to say when my girlfriend's feeling insecure, I'm totally lost. My sister puts up a front so the world won't see how vulnerable she is. Me, I put up a front so the world won't see how vulnerable I'm not. I don't care who these fingertips belong to. Only what my new friend out there is trying to say. Shack, totally important. Do not let me down, Deb. Gone to rest his weary head. Good news is he'll still be here when I come back for our own personal happy hour. Carlos Guerrero has chosen to live in a dangerous world. That's his truth. My truth is, That world doesn't need me to balance its books. Matt Chambers, welcome to your last change of address. You'll like it here. You and your neighbors have so much in common. The worst thing about finally putting together a puzzle is finding there are missing pieces. He came back and left nothing behind but a message. Come find me. And I will. There are no secrets in life, just hidden truths that lie beneath the surface. A hard time dealing with death, but I'm not most people. It's the grief that makes me uncomfortable. Not because I'm a killer. Really, I just don't understand all that emotion, which makes it tough to fake. In those cases, shades come in handy. Not keeping my face pinched in sorrow for 2 hours straight's a real chore. A whole life reduced to ashes. For Ricky Simmons, it's over. But sometimes you get a second chance. Florida prisons kick free 25,000 inmates a year. They don't do that for me, but it sure feels like it. I search for the ones who think they beat the system. They're not hard to find. Like Jeremy Downs. Jeremy got off easy, 4 years in a juvenile facility for manslaughter. To the coroner, the knife strokes looked random, impulsive, but I saw the work of a young virtuoso. Too many major arteries were severed, femoral, brachial, carotid. Today, Jeremy is just another piece of trash on the street, but 4 years ago, he was the toast of Miami.
It was a Bruce, they were alone, at least stabbed.
But I knew what he was and what he'd do again. All I had to do was circle my calendar and wait. I knew he'd be back. It feels like Christmas morning. Look at that. A miracle on ice. Stunning. Everyone moves to Miami to die, which means we have more junk than any city in America. A skilled bargain hunter can find real treasure here, but that's not my idea of hunting. I prefer a stalk and ambush approach. My instincts are impeccable, but I have to be sure of my prey.
Raw adrenaline.
I'm not upset. He's still out there, and I'm waiting, breathless. Bingo. I know what happens next in this gruesome little scenario. Jeremy is trying to recreate his first kill, ritualize it. All I had to do was drive home, have a taco, plan my attack. Instead, I tried to act human, like it's my job to save lives. The coat of Harry never covered this. At least I know what Jeremy is. I understand now. Why didn't I see it before? Jeremy didn't murder that boy 4 years ago. He was taking out the garbage. Just like... I understand now. Why didn't I see it before? Jeremy didn't murder that boy 4 years ago. He was taking out the garbage, just like I do. And things were a little messy in the beginning. Hey, perfecting a new craft takes time. But I was trained well. Those who witnessed my early stumbles never had a chance to tell. It was messier than I anticipated. It's still a special day. But of course, it was really Harry who paved the road to my salvation. With the nurse put down, Harry lived another year before hardening arteries squeezed the last bit of life from him. But his lessons have never failed me. Harry taught me that death isn't the end. It's the beginning of a chain reaction that will catch you if you're not careful. He taught me that none of us are who we appear to be on the outside. But we must maintain appearances to survive. But there was something Harry didn't teach me. Something he didn't know, couldn't possibly know. The willful taking of life represents the ultimate disconnect from humanity. It leaves you an outsider, forever looking in, searching for company to keep. All you can do is play along at life and hope that sometimes you get it right. I find people around me are all making some kind of connection, like friendship or romance. But human bonds always lead to messy complications, commitment, sharing, driving people to the airport. Besides, if I let someone get that close, they'd see who I really am. And I can't let that happen. So, time to put on my mask. Dexter Morgan, this is your life. It is my new friend, the ice truck killer. When he broke into my apartment, he took some time to get to know me. My life, my secrets. I could make things so much easier for Rita. But that would be wrong. I love Halloween. The one time of year when everyone wears a mask, not just me. People think it's fun to pretend you're a monster. Me, I spend my life pretending I'm not. Brother, friend, boyfriend, all part of my costume collection. Some people might call me a fraud.
It's okay, let's see if it'll fit.
Oh, you stabbed me in the back.
I prefer to think of myself as a master of disguise. Another photo from my family album. He's recreating my past with Tony Tucci's body parts. He's forcing me to see this.
Nobody paying you to stand.
He knows. He's not corrupting the happy Hallmark images of my youth. He's revealing the ugly truth behind them.
Come on, Simon!
Unlike Harry, my new friend doesn't place much value in blending in. He wants me to see who he is and what he does. Everything about him is brazen, authentic. What does that make me? Almost feel sorry for them, trying to put together a puzzle when they don't know pieces are missing from the box. Pieces he gave me. I used to love this place. The bulldozers pressing garbage layer after layer right into the earth itself, burying it, hiding it. I found it soothing. But it wasn't condos back then. This has to be the right place. So what am I missing? Harry was the only one who saw me. Really saw me. So he taught me to hide. And that's what's kept me safe. But sometimes I'm not sure where Harry's vision of me ends and the real me starts. If I'm just a collection of learned behaviors, bits and pieces of Harry, maybe my new friend is right. Maybe I am a fraud. All this time the answer was right here. Harry, photographer and foster father extraordinaire, he is always with me. And he's the common denominator. All those years of smiling for the camera, it was empty and fake. The pictures, meaningless. Until now. Pictures of Harry. My friend left this. He's showing me where to go. Am I going because it's what he wants? Or because that's what Harry would want? And what do I want? Hospital's shut down now. Abandoned for years. But tonight, it's visiting hours again. Gift wrapped and begging for death. Tools at the ready.
Just kill me. It's okay.
He was left here so I would kill him. But my new friend doesn't see me as clearly as he thinks. I can't kill this man. Harry wouldn't want it. And neither would I. And what about me? Maybe I'll never be the human Harry wanted me to be. But I couldn't kill Tony Tucci. That's not me either. My new friend thought I wouldn't be able to resist the kill he left for me. But I did. I'm not the monster he wants me to be. So I'm neither man nor beast. I'm something new entirely, with my own set of rules. I'm Dexter. Boo. I like to pretend I'm alone. Completely alone. Maybe post-apocalypse or plague. Whatever, no one left to act normal for. No need to hide who I really am. It would be freeing. I'm not the only one who enjoys isolation. My shadow companion chose this place well. This was his sanctuary. For a while at least. All these people pawing over it. It seems disrespectful. I don't understand America's obsession with cars. I can just imagine squeezing Rita and the kids into this thing, hitting the open road, cramped quarters, public bathrooms, hours of nothing but conversation. Someone's American dream, my nightmare. This must be where Castillo locks them up. But if he's killing them when they can't pay, he's not doing it here. That must be what love looks like. The inability to feel has its advantages. Sometimes. No time to relax. I'm too close. Jorge Castillo is bad, that I know. But bad enough to have killed Yelena's fiancé. That I have to prove. Jorge's not so humble abode. Eesh, new money. Normal people dream of this. A new car, a big home, a boat at the Reef Shore Marina. And a beautiful wife. Too bad I never enjoy making someone a widow. They're so happy. She has no clue who she's with. Maybe that's the key to a successful relationship. Somehow it's reassuring to know I'm not the only one pretending to be normal. Alone. I'd be better off. Relationships are too confusing. But this I can figure out. This I do well. Jorge Castillo's boat. If he's a killer, then there's proof. There's always proof. And I'll find it. Happy and in love. Perfect couple. I wonder if Rita and the kids would like fishing. Focus. If one of these matches the contact number for Ernesto's coyote, you're it, Jorge. He drowns them here, then dumps them out there. If they wash up, it'll be chalked up to another inner tube mishap. I like this place. A lot of memories are buried down there. Deviating from the plan may have been ill-advised. But sometimes you just have to take a risk. After all, isn't that what relationships are all about? Life is so fleeting. So fragile. Every breath the potential to be our last. I don't get birthdays. The party, the song, celebrating another year just being alive feels forced. I shouldn't have killed them both. I didn't have enough time. A footprint, a microscopic drop of blood. What did I leave behind? The noose is tightening. This is how it ends in the hands of a 7-year-old?
Hey, Deb.
I usually like kids.
Who's a boy?
Nothing lasts forever. Just ask a Ford Pinto. Eventually, most serial killers get caught. There's really not much of a retirement plan. But it can't end like this. It's too soon. I'm not ready. I don't have bad dreams. When I sleep, all of me sleeps. Nothing ever goes bump in Dexter's night. I've never felt a moment of remorse, doubt, regret. What's happening to me? If my back wasn't against the wall, I'd almost feel guilty for hacking into Masuka's email. Once I got past all the porn, it was easy. And there I am, Dr. Patrick Bateman, so wholesome, so inconspicuous. Harry would frown upon destroying evidence, but he never wanted me to get caught either.
What are you doing in...
They all accepted their fate in their own way. Now it's time for me to do the same. Valerie Castillo, my last victim. He's not angry. That's not what this is about. He's testing me. I was wrong the whole time. My playmate saw an opportunity to paint me into a corner to see if I'd find my way out. If I'd fight to survive. If you have a well-preserved sample, transferring a dried drop of blood is relatively easy. Almost as easy as it was lifting Jorge Castillo's fingerprints from his boat and putting them on this knife. All along, I thought this was a game my alter ego and I were playing. But relationships change, evolve, and this one's getting deep. I knew I recognized the knife work of the killer, Jeremy Downs. I had him. He was mine. Until I found out the boy Jeremy killed raped him.
He fucked me, and I killed him.
So I let Jeremy go. It seemed fair. But my random act of kindness was misguided. If I'd followed my instincts, this boy's high school yearbook would still have an editor. Actually, it sounds perfectly awful. For weeks, I felt like a student in a master class. Is it really possible that the master's on the run? And even more tragic, does he live in a double-wide? He might be a crack-addled, wife-abusing yahoo, but he refuses to abandon his kids. I'm not sure that's a good thing. I'm going to miss my playmate. Sure, there's Rita and the kids, but they don't know the real me. Can never know the real me. And now the father is back. Things have changed. Everything has changed. I always prided myself on being an outsider, but now I feel the need to connect with someone. I saw myself in Jeremy. But instead of helping him like Harry helped me, I gave him a piece of fortune cookie advice that he never even heard. I failed him. He deserves better. And he'll get it from now on. I guess I was wrong. Jeremy did hear my advice. He killed someone who deserved to die. Ever since Harry's death, I've been alone. But now, for the first time, I feel alone. Jeremy is gone, and Neil Perry will soon vanish into the catacombs of the system. I have so many questions for him. How did he discover my secrets? What was his message to me? He's been in my home, my photos, my life. He knows me. Now I need to know him. To connect, face to face, before he's beyond my reach forever. What if LaGuardia's right? What if the ice truck killer does disappear? No, he's got unfinished business with me. Still, I can't just sit on my hands waiting for something to happen. I need a distraction. Nothing like some little Debbies and a worthy new adversary to clear my head. The three suicide sisters shared the same therapist, Dr. Emmett Meridian. He must be terrible at his job. So far, he comes up squeaky clean, no malpractice suits, no disgruntled patients, and I thought I was a master at damage control. Perhaps I should schedule a session with a good doctor and try out a little reverse psychology. Meridian had one thing right. I do crave control. And the longer the ice truck killer maintains radio silence, the less control I have. Craigslist. It's desperate, I know. But apropos, personal ads are filled with desperation. Tyler from Key West. Speedos tanning on the beach. Touched your tits on Friday night. At least these folks aren't just standing by waiting for something to happen. And neither am I. Dear Ken, I'm in pieces. Why the cold shoulder? Love, Barbie. You took women who trusted you at their weakest possible moment, but rather than help them, you suggested they end it all. God, you even gave them permission to use a gun. You're a mean one, Mr. Shrink. Create their drug addiction, pull them off, then fill their addled heads with noble thoughts of suicide. I think I've had a breakthrough in therapy.
You're awake. Shall we analyze your dreams? No. That's right, you've already told me everything I need to know. Except, why powerful women? You took powerful women and made them powerless. They left behind families, children. I have to confess I'm a little conflicted. You've helped me make a major self-discovery. The fact that I'm a killer. That's something I can't control. You helped me to accept what I really am. I'm grateful for that. But I was raised with a certain set of principles. I'm sorry, Doc. Actions have consequences, and this is yours. I'm gonna have to let you go.
I guess I understand why Deb is upset. We both idolized Harry, lived by what he taught us. Though Deb never had to be taught not to kill innocent people. That's why she doesn't understand why I need to know. If Joe was shot up with insulin, there'll be an injection welt. Maybe between his toes or in a freckle. If it's there, I'll find it. Small towns. I had a father. Someone other than Harry who called me son. The thought never even occurred to me. Harry was all I needed. It was Harry who always had the answers. He knew who was good, bad, safe, and dangerous. I built my life on Harry's code. I lived by it. But Harry lied. Why would he do that? What else don't I know? My concrete foundation is turning to shifting sand. Maybe Rudy was right. You never can truly know anyone. Now I'm really curious. He's been gone so long he had to be planning a splashy return, but a crime scene just for me? And I will. I can always see other people's problems more clearly than my own. Fortunately, Rita's has a name. The enchanting Rita over the worried one. If I can find a way to make her ex-husband my problem, I can help her sleep much easier tonight. All I need is a little proof of his inner monster. Harry would have insisted on that. Harry didn't believe in preemptive killing, but maybe I can bend the rules just this once. After all, Harry wasn't perfect. He lied about my birth father. The trifecta: weapon, ammo, and impaired judgment. Throw in a little domestic violence and you have the perfect recipe for a family slaughter. Rudy misunderstands my problem. I want the boy in blood to go away, not come crashing back. Fortunately, I have other people's problems to focus on right now. Like forgotten cell phones. It's truly amazing the things you can do when you put your mind to it.
Why are you laughing?
No problem is insurmountable, not when you have the most accessible evidence locker in Miami.
The equipment the Navy has is state-of-the-art.
Paul did need to go away. But death wasn't the answer. Life in prison will do just fine.
They train you to be the best, and they expect you to be.
For now, at least, the code of Harry remains unbroken. So this is doom. I've been the architect of so much of it, it's only fair I should know what the fuss is all about. He left me this room for a reason. 5 women gave their blood, their lives, for this moment. There's only one way to find out why. I've never had much use for the concept of hell, but if hell exists, I'm in it. The same images running through my head over and over. I was there. I saw my mother's death. A buried memory forgotten all these years. It climbed inside me that day. And it's been with me ever since. My dark passenger. I know I should stay, be a part of the group hug. But I can't focus. I'm trapped in the clutches of a memory. I need to know what it means. My mother was murdered before my eyes. Makes sense I'd choose a life where I search for meaning in blood. And the sole memory I have of her is being covered in it. I need to know more details. I was never one to dwell on my past, always content to leave it a mystery. No details, just a blur of images rushing by. But my friend out there wants to bring those memories into focus. So do I.
Mosa. My mother.
No wonder I felt so disconnected my entire life. If I did have emotions, I'd have to feel this. Lived in darkness a long time. Over the years, my eyes adjusted until the dark became my world and I could see. But then Rudy turned on the light. He flooded my memory and now I'm blind. I don't have much time. Or to be more accurate, my sister doesn't have much time. He wants me to find them, but where do I look? I can't think. It's too bright. There are roughly 5,000 cargo containers in the port of Miami. Finding the one where my mother was butchered took a bit of magic. It's in there somewhere. My birthplace. Now what? No cameras, no patrols, no dogs. With billions spent on homeland security, it can't be as easy as a couple of snips. So much for the war on terror. I don't like this place. Something nameless was born here. Something that lives in the deepest, darkest hole of the thing called Dexter. It's perfect. Right out in the open. At least he's consistent.
Was there anything else near this record player?
Yeah, fucking doll sitting on top.
Home sweet home. Is he taking me back before the blood? To a place where a boy was born? Home sweet home, but which home? I drove away a brother who accepts me, sees me, for an adopted sister who'd reject me if she knew, and a foster father who betrayed me. That's what it was, a betrayal. The most important single fact about me. I'm not alone, and Harry kept it from me. What do I really owe him after that? The reality is there's nobody left alive who can handle my truth. Dokes always sensed I was hiding something. Now he knows. My devil danced with his demon, and the fiddler's tune is far from over. I wonder what it would be like for everything inside me that's denied and unknown to be revealed. But I'll never know. I live my life in hiding. My survival depends on it. Dearly damaged Deborah. She's here to face what's left of the monster, spit on his carcass, mourn him. She's in hiding now, too. Harry's daughter will be damned if she lets anyone see what she's suffering inside. That's her tragedy. My tragedy is that I killed the one person I didn't have to hide from. And I'm the only one who mourns him. Everyone else would probably thank me if they knew I was the one who drained him of his life.
Good job in there, Dex. You sliced him up good.
In fact, deep down, I'm pretty sure they'd appreciate a lot of my work. This is what it must feel like to walk in full sunlight. My darkness revealed. My shadow self embraced. Yeah, they see me. I'm one of them.